So it's the morning after I almost cut my finger off because I was in there cutting cabbage, stressing about my kids. This is my own fault. I have not been doing my routines the way I'm supposed to. I've not been doing my spiritual work in the morning. I've kind of just gotten up, said like a half-hearted prayer, and just gotten to whatever I've gotten to. I haven't done my deep breathing exercises. I haven't been meditating. I haven't been praying the way that I'm supposed to first thing in the morning. I haven't been calling my energy back, and I can tell the difference. I've been so irritated lately, just frustrated in my head. Constantly, my thoughts have just been very negative and frustrated. And now I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I feel like I did it to myself. I did not fortify myself to deal with people, and I should have done that. But I didn't, and now I'm suffering. Even this injury is from my car accident. I believe I had a pinched nerve, and it's not too much you can do about it, but wait for it to work itself out and go to physical therapy, which I didn't do for very long. But I do exercises for it on a daily basis. But it's been a lot of tension here, which is from my frustration. Whenever I get stressed, it manifests in me being very tired, very irritable, and my joints hurt. I did this to myself, and now I feel sad. So now I have to do all this extra work to pull myself out of this funk. But it's fine. I've done this before. Matter of fact, I do this all the time. I'll fall off, and it's usually around my period. Because around my period is when I'll need more rest. So it'll throw off my normal routine. And being bipolar with this avoidant personality disorder, I thrive on routine. So when there's a change that I have to adjust to, it's very challenging. And if you know anything about raising kids, that's all they do is change. Literally from 1 minute to the next. They go to sleep one person and wake up another. And that's just the normal teenager, not even the ones that are neurodivergent or have mental health disorders. And so I'm learning how to be a teenage mom, which is totally different than preteen or toddler mom. I'm having to be a lot more open-minded than I've ever had to be before. I feel like I use all of my resources to keep my kids safe and healthy, and it seems like they go out of their way to put themselves in harm. And it drives me nuts. Whether it's having sex or drinking alcohol or socializing or traveling, I just don't want them to do it. And I understand I cannot control my children's lives, but see, I have a problem. My problem is that I have a spiritual gift, and I see things in a way that maybe others don't. So I may see something as a threat that maybe your average person wouldn't see as a threat. Because see, I know what my children are. And I know that there are certain types of people that will try to feed off of them or manipulate them, and I don't want that to happen. And I can't chaperone their entire life. So I'm just going through this weird thing where they're not little kids anymore, but they're not completely grown, but there's this space where they have to be out in the world without me being right there with them. And I have to trust God and the universe, and that they have learned enough from me and God and the universe that they're going to be able to make the right decisions. And I also have to let them make the wrong decisions so they can learn. But like, in that space of allowing them to make their own decisions is potential death. And I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I'm wasting my time. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, what is the point? What is the point in trying to keep y'all alive and well fed if y'all just gonna go die because y'all out there doing dumb shit? That's how I feel. One of my sons has been in 2 car accidents that weren't his fault in the past 3 years. Do you know what that's like? Like, you don't understand. The first car accident, they flipped. They flipped in the air and ran into a house. And the driver was drinking. My son wasn't drinking, but the point was you thought it was okay to get in a car with somebody that was drinking because it was your friend. And at 100 miles per hour, all the way up to 100 miles per hour, not one bone in your body told you to tell them to slow down. You almost died. And you're getting upset with me for getting upset about that happening. Make it make sense. Then, 2 years later, you run a red light and get hit by a car. Who does that? So I'm sitting up here like, I literally lose sleep, lose hair, lose time, lose my mind, worrying about y'all. Y'all just don't care about nothing. Nothing. And now I feel like I've wasted my life because I'm centered around these kids that are just doing whatever they want to do. And they're not bad. They are not, listen, compare them to me when I was their age. Come on. But like, they're good kids. I'm being overprotective. If my husband was here, my ex-dead husband, if he was here, he would probably tell me I'm overreacting. But I don't need to listen to him. He is dead from an overdose. He don't get to have no say. He lived a reckless life. Of course he wouldn't agree with me. He would say I'm overreacting. I'm still alive, so we gonna listen to me. I feel so alone. And I never feel that way. I'm a Scorpio. I be purposely alone. But I feel so alone in this. Even though I'm not. Because when one of them is acting crazy, at least one of the other ones are a voice of reason. And I can appreciate that. That's a bonus to having older kids. Is that somebody gonna be the voice of reason. Because it used to be, it was just me against everybody when they were younger. Because they would just link up. Like, they literally had a meeting when they were like 6 or 7. My Pisces called this meeting for all the siblings, and they decided they were not going to snitch on each other. And if I tried to inquire about who did what, they just wouldn't respond. And that's how that went. And so you know what I did? I said, okay, I'm just going to beat everybody's ass. How about that? Is this a test? Is this a test? Am I being tested to see how patient I can be? Because it's like, they just say the dumbest stuff. It's like you ready to choke these kids. It's okay. It's totally natural. It's natural. It's natural, but it's ridiculous. If I had it to do again, I would not have kids. Matter of fact, if I look back in my life, I don't remember actually wanting to have kids until after I got married and fell in love, I guess. I guess he convinced me I wanted to have kids. I don't know. I'm happy that I have them, but I definitely wouldn't do it again because it's too much responsibility, honestly, for someone's life, because nobody told you that they want to be alive or productive members of society. And it's like, no matter what you do, they're going to turn out how they're going to turn out. They're going to do what they want to do. And that's why it sucks being a parent, because no matter what you do, they're still going to do whatever they want to do at some point. Not even at some point. They've been doing what they want to do. They just do it while we sleep. And it's like, you can get in so much trouble. You can try so much to protect your child, and then they go and do all this stuff, and then you're responsible for it, whether you knew it was going on or not. You going to jail. And it's like, unfit. And it's like, oh my God, what do you do? They just do whatever. Unruly. I don't remember being like this as a child. Like, I was so controlled as a child. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to go outside and play in the woods. They didn't care. Well, they would work. I was always alone. Maybe it's just having siblings. Maybe the ones with siblings are the ones that get into trouble. But then again, if you don't have siblings to like snitch on you or like hold you accountable, then you're just out in the world alone. That was me. I was an only child and I had no protection. So I got bullied. I got all types of stuff. So I would vote for having siblings. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging it. Hanging on by a thread. Hanging on by a thread over here. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that I am struggling as a single mom right now to keep it together, and feeling like my life is pretty much worth nothing because no one is doing what I want them to do. And now here's the cat. Please go away. Goodbye, Isis. But I say all this with love, and I really do appreciate being a mom. Even though I feel like they really don't need me. It's just easier to have me around, honestly. I feel like the questions they ask me, if I wasn't here, they would still get the answers. The things that they ask me for, they could get on their own. It's just convenient to get it from me. It's kind of like calling a restaurant for order in food versus going and making something from yourself from scratch in the kitchen. I am Domino's Pizza to them. Why roll out pizza dough when you can just order a pizza? But honestly, I feel like if I stop overextending myself so much and doing so much for them, especially with the stuff I know they can do on their own, then I won't have so much animosity towards them and feel like I'm being used. Because if you make it easy to call up and order a pizza, you're never going to learn how to make pizza dough. So I have to take most of the accountability for this because people only treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. So I'm just going to stop doing so much, focus more on myself, and learn how to manage stress better. And that way, they become more independent. They start to hone their skills that they're using me for so they can get just as good. Like making them daggone potatoes. Like, you know how to make potatoes, but I like your potatoes. No, learn my technique so you can make them as good as or better than me. And then you don't have to ask me to do it all the time. Because the stuff they ask me to do, they can definitely do. And the things that they ask me to, like, information about things, you can go research it and figure it out on your own. The best knowledge is the knowledge you acquire on your own. You'll remember it. Just like you take better care of things that you buy yourself than a gift someone gave you usually. Because, like, you ain't paid for it, what does it matter? Type attitude. But it does matter. And it's character development time. And I'll take them not worrying about their lives as my, that's just my interpretation. Just because I'm viewing some of their behaviors as them not caring about their life doesn't actually mean they don't care about their life, because they do care about their life. So I just need to change my perspective. I need to learn how to manage stress better, and I need to stop overextending myself, because nobody told me to do that. I chose to do that. So I need to take responsibility for it. It's like you jogging down the street and then want to get mad when you're tired. You have a car. Thank you for spending time with me here in Fury World. If you're interested in checking out videos about mental health, spirituality, single parenting, or vegan cooking, I have all those things on playlists that you can check out on my homepage. If you're interested in checking out my music, it's available on all music streaming platforms worldwide under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss. I feel like this is just a season that's giving me an opportunity to level up as a person and as a parent. And I definitely, especially in my older age, need to learn how to calm it on down and keep it calm, because don't nobody need no extra cortisol being leaked into my system, giving me more fat on my body. That is the stress hormone, and I don't want it. Stress is the #1 killer of women in America. Ain't nobody trying to stress themselves to death, especially not over these daggone reckless-ass teenagers. I need to adopt their attitude and stop stressing about stuff. This is what I know logically, but, you know, my body still responds to stress in a stressful way, but, you know, we got to reprogram ourselves. It's not hard, but it ain't going to be easy either. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.